This is our gold chart in US dollars. This is the weekly scale with lots of alternatives here. I want to highlight two that I think are most likely at this point. If we continue to see strength in the in gold and it runs above 1,300 in the coming week, two options are standing out here. One, extremely bullish, is that the B, if you remember my A, B, and looking for a C structure, my B ended here. That's one, that's two, and we will have basically the first leg of the third wave on this scale. We will have that in the shape of diagonal first, and then we should go sideways, roughly hovering at around 1,300 for a few days before this is going to take off about 1,380. Or slightly lower than that. That will be the indication. It's right here, 1,375. I must emphasize that it has to really establish a solid run above 1,375 to absolutely confirm that the B is behind us and we are in that major C up. Because if we don't see that and it runs up, as I've shown you here, it is possible the triangle will go into fairly extended mode here, that being A, unchanged. Failing to run above this level will generate basically the B, meaning all the price action that you see here will be a B, and that means that we are going for, that's going to be really longish. Very longish affair here, going down for a C, D, E, etc. Okay, and then we go down. It's too early to cut it one way or another. Gold has not run above the previous high registered here recently, so for all intents and purposes, it is possible, in fact, that it will weaken soon and it will reverse down, and it will enable a third option that could be generating a run higher, a C, a big C up, much earlier than the B that you see here, in the following manner. We take this as a B, a that's a B, and that's a C, that will be your D, and it goes down for that E, you see, and that will generate the B that I'm talking about, and then it'll be ready to shoot high. Let's have a look at, this is the daily scale. And here's an option. You see my arrows going up here? That is an option that says, well, we're going to run with this as an A, that's a B, that's a C, that's a D, because we had an ABC here and it reversed nicely. And we had an ABC here, no question. So if we go for another ABC and it's going to pop its head above 1,300, we're going to have an A, B, C, D, E. That could play out as the first leg. Definitely could play out as the first leg. Then we go sideways, probably getting support from the 1,270 area around here, and then the moment of truth. If it reverses, starts taking off really in an impulse manner, that could be our third wave. Okay, so that is the level that we want to see it exceeding. It is 1,300 short term. Breaking back without going any higher now, breaking back under 1,275 or so right here, that is telling you that we are continuing with that E leg on this scale, okay, which means that in my mind that's going to generate probably another thing like that, okay, just drifting lower towards 1,240 or so. And that's going to be with us for several more weeks. Yes, easily several more weeks. So no rush in terms of gold shooting higher in that scenario. Here we go. That is the clear case of an ABC. As far as I can see, that's a clear case of an ABC. If I'm right, then we could see a run above 1,300. As soon as it breaks down under 1,274, as soon as it breaks under this level that you see here, you have to immediately assume that gold is almost certainly going to stay down or sideways for weeks to come. Yes, I would say this will be a pretty strong indication. Let's see now the pattern that is developing here in silver. That is the daily scale of silver. And also here we're looking at, almost certainly we're looking at the B tilted downwards here with an A, B, C potentially behind us. And we are working on the D. In the case of silver, it is it's in a way easier. It looks like it's more orderly. Why do I say that? Because we will have no problem really fitting an A, B, C, D, E here. That could fit as a D, okay? It could also fit as a part of an A, B, C, D, E like that, which, as you remember, is much more complex variation of the C. Okay, this is a bit complex for those who are not very familiar with the Elliott waves. Could be a bit complex because it really opens up the whole triangle idea into a huge extension here, which probably would go hand in hand with gold also extending that issue of the entire triangle. But my point here is to emphasize that the run-up from the bottom here could easily be taken as a shaping up of a diagonal. Take a look. Hey, do you see what I mean? That can be taken as an A, that's a B, ABC as a C, ABC as a D, no problem. So it's going to go up in another ABC, perfect. That gives me an A, B, C, D, E, and that gives me a complete pattern. Yes. You would immediately say, hey, what about the diagonal first? You were just talking about gold that is going to carry gold into a third wave after a brief correction. And I would say, yes, this could also work here. It all depends what we get, of course. If we have this confirmed, okay, we have this confirmed, we have another ABC, it pops its head above this level, which comes at 17.3. Okay, and then it sinks back and it goes sideways between 17.6, let's say, to 16.6. It goes sideways like that, and then boom, it shoots like this, the end of the world. It shoots like crazy above this level. Then you know what it is. That's an ABC, that's a second wave, that's one, that's two, and gold probably will do exactly the same thing. You see, it is important to emphasize that if we want to distinguish between the E leg on this scale and a second wave that would relate to this run taken as a diagonal first, the extent of this correction would play a major role. Okay, we really have to focus. First of all, we'll see if we're going to get it, but if we do get it, that will play a major role in helping us to detect whether it's a second wave or whether it's an E leg. Because my thinking simply is that if it is an E leg, it's going to go lower. Yeah, it's going to go lower because it needs to, if you like, give us that complete pattern. Imagine that's the daily now, A, B, C, D, and you want the E leg. So the E leg is not going to get stuck here, do you see? This just doesn't make sense. It's not going to be a few wiggles around here and then it's going to take off. It just doesn't look right. The entire pattern would not look right. It would look much better if you have a drop towards 16.5, even 16, and also extending over, let's say, 4 to 5 weeks. Yes, that would look like everything is falling into place for silver to prepare for that launch of a run that will shoot above 21.